Hey people, hope you're doing well. I am Hannah and just had an inkling to visit the Dreams of Gaia deck, which I haven't touched for a long time. Just see if there's any insights into this new world that's being forged cosmically and translating here obviously, but you know, we're all on a spectrum of our own, and collectively we're all at different points on a journey. Some are further along than others, but the ones leading the way, what can they tell us? What can we know about this new world that we're shifting into? What can we know about this new energy? That is literally being guided by the sun. The counselor. And look, it's actually got the star that looks like a sun on it. The sun, the moon, and the heart, wings. It's got whales on it as well. Let's have a look. See what it says. Lots of water, lots of emotions. So it's on page 294. I don't know if that's significant. It's towards the very end. Empathic, wise, objective advice, trustworthy, emotional understanding, clarity, sharing. Key phases: a time of questions and mixed emotions. Look beyond the words to the emotions. Mixed or confused emotions. Listen, hear. Seek objective counsel. An emotionally complex situation. A lack of empathy. An opportunity for understanding. Be receptive, not rejecting our feelings, preventing a resolution. This is a time of great feeling, great delving into your emotional waters and understanding yourself and understanding your emotions as a language, which we all are here to do. This is one of the great missions of all humans, is to learn who you are, learn what you're here for, like what your unique purpose is, and to learn your emotions as a language, because emotions is what distinguishes us as humans. But unfortunately, for reasons unbeknownst to probably anyone, humans have become the most degenerate species on Earth. Very paradoxical. Meaning, the Councillor of Water represents one who stands high, an elder, advisor, or a wise man or woman whom the king or queen calls upon to discuss their feelings regarding a situation or experience of concern. So basically, the leaders that are at the forefront of this shift are the people who are emotionally intelligent. The people who are, are in tune with their emotions. They are the ones leading the leaders. She or he is someone who is trusted. They are a caring, compassionate person who will listen attentively, only interrupting the flow to ask a question if there is need. Once the tale is told, the counsellor offers her thoughts in an objective manner. Her role is not to give instruction, but to present alternatives and insight that would help the seeker understand the thoughts and feelings that may be clouding their judgment. She is an empathetic person skilled at stepping outside of herself to look through the eyes of others. She never judges and offers only compassion and the opportunity to understand the emotions at play. By asking the right questions, she helps people to come to their own conclusions about what feels right for them and how to proceed from that point. When the counsellor appears in a reading, she symbolises a need to be empathetic and objective when dealing with emotionally complex situations. If you can, look beyond the words being spoken to see the emotions behind them. If you cannot, the counsellor asks that you seek out the wisdom of someone who can. There may also be a time approaching that will require you to keep your emotions in check, especially if they are confused. If you are feeling reactive or challenged, talking it through might help you to make sense of your feelings and provide you with answers. If you act without taking this step, your mixed or confused emotions may muddy the waters further. So, all of this extra cosmic activity and solar activity may be making people emotionally volatile if they're not people who have done any work on themselves to gain awareness, so they're not basically manipulated by the energy. Don't really know another way to describe it, bounced around like a yo-yo. What's that? That's like yin and yang at the bottom. Six of Earth, I think it is. Let's have a look. Oh no, Six of Air. This deck has all the elements: Earth, Fire, Water, Air. 2, 2. Solutions, comparisons, compromise, open-mindedness, mindfulness, illumination, epiphany, personal power. A time of research and investigation. Look at and compare a range of options. Weigh the pros and cons. Be willing to compromise. Don't let rigidity hamper possible success. A moment of epiphany. Step into your personal power. Do not discredit what others offer. So this actually could be like a time of negotiation, compromise. Problem solving, coming to the end of investigations, reaching conclusions. Let me just read what the book says, because it might offer more than, oh my god, itchy nose, I'm on the money. The Six of Air represents a solution born of compromise that lies somewhere in between the black and white, either or choices that are so often seen as the only options available. Now is a good time to contemplate and compare a range of different options in order to discover the best solution for one and all. Therefore, it's also time for research and investigation. As you consider the options, compare, take notes, weigh the pros and cons for each. There might be a need for compromises to be made, as sometimes, in order to achieve your goals and objectives, compromise is required. Now is not to be the time to prevent an outcome by being inflexible and taking a rigid stance. The Six of Air also represents that singular moment of revelation and illumination when the mind opens and at once understands the extent of the power we have over our lives. Suddenly you see potential in everything. You see how every experience and choice made by you and others has shaped you and your life and brought you to this moment. In turn, you also understand how every choice you make in the present will shape your future. In the moment of recognition, the mind changes in an instant, and so does life itself. The Six of Air is presenting you with the opportunity to act with mindfulness and awareness. So that's kind of the same as the other card. It's kind of being present and in charge of your own expression, not like compulsive or reacting like erratically and that kind of thing. From this moment onwards, choose to take responsibility for your thoughts, beliefs and actions, understanding that even by taking a passive or inactive role, by doing nothing or by allowing others to make decisions on your behalf, you are making a choice. Own it. The only drawback is that you will no longer be able to blame others for stealing your power if it was your choice to give it away. This is your moment to come of age and own your power. The Six of Air signifies an opportunity to empower and illuminate your life by opening your mind. Eight of Earth and One of Earth. So Ace of Earth, new beginnings, goals, motivation, desire, preparations, opportunity, education, security, potential reward, potential consequences. Practicality and pragmatism, starting anew, new financial or career opportunity, reward versus consequence, making preparations, planning for the future, material gain, a desire for security. When the Ace of Earth appears in your reading, it presents a time of change and new beginning on the career or home front. This change is driven by a desire for financial security and independence for yourself and for those for whom you are responsible. It is time to make preparations and plans for the future so that you are not challenged or placed under stress by the changes that are coming. What do you want to do with your life? What career path will allow you to both meet your responsibilities and be fulfilled? Are you more interested in financial rewards than seeking a vocation or career that will stimulate you and make you happy? It is time for you to think of the outcome you desire. Do you need to further your education and qualifications to create more financially rewarding opportunities? A new beginning founded in practicality and pragmatism. This is the energy of the Ace of Earth. It is time to be grounded in your approach and seek tangible outcomes that meet your desires. Determine your weaknesses and strengths, weigh your responsibilities, and then decide whether or not they fit with your goals and objectives. Also, be sure to consider the impact your decision will have on those around you. Be certain of your motivation. If you desire a safe and secure environment that is free of financial stress, now is time to consider building solid foundations. That looks pretty solid, to be fair. Pretty solid and stable. This is the Eight of Earth. Growth, manifestation, accomplishment, success, abundance, wealth, appreciation. Okay, I'm getting more of a picture now. Emotional intelligence, own your own power, take responsibility for your own choices, leave the old behind, start anew, take responsibility for a new plan. And then this is about actually growing. Eight of Earth implies a success, wealth and love, the manifestation of positive attitude, doing what you love and loving what you do. And when you get to the point of when you know who you are and you are like freely expressive emotionally, you know, you just let your emotions flow through you and then you respond accordingly, and you use them for as messengers to communicate. They serve you, like it serves you. They're a guidance system, so they can guide you in making your plan. They guide you for what choices to make for your highest and greatest good and the good of all, and they guide you for growth. Okay, so I forgot to read the key phrases: success, wealth and love, do what you love what you do, make plans for the future, a time of abundance ahead, confidence in a future outcome, do not rest on your laurels, money does not buy happiness, lose the lack mentality. Okay, this is a very optimistic card, one that suggests a time of abundance, fruitfulness, and a good harvest ahead. A peaceful, happy home, career. Okay, I get it now. So in the new path, we're moving out of lack, scarcity, survival, all of this, to actually the foundation being emotions. Because emotions are from the heart. It's not rumination and not like feelings that keep people stuck, like depression, anxiety, all of that stuff. No, when you let your emotions move freely through your body and don't let them be stuck, so you have trauma kept in your body, they're actually the best foundation for an abundant life. Look at that power there. Look at that balance. Look at that sight. From the heart. This can also be a good time to think about where I know. Let me start again. This is a very optimistic card, one that suggests a time of abundance, fruitfulness, and a good harvest ahead. A peaceful, happy home, career, confidence, the respect of your peers. What more could you ask for? All the seeds born of the past planting are growing well, and you can be confident that the outcome you need will manifest. This can also be a good time to think about taking the next big leap rather than resting on your laurels. You have it within you to go further and reach greater heights if you so desire, especially if you remain committed to doing everything to the best of your ability. The Eight of Earth signifies a time to look to, acknowledge and celebrate your successes, and perhaps start making new plans for the future as well. Yeah. So make the plan, stick to the plan. But to be fair, I think there's people already that have moved to the new world that have already been doing that. We get some more on what potentially might lead to growth. So what's in between the Ace and the Eight of Earth? Okay. Love. The cards don't lie, guys. Can you see that? 270 is the Two of Water. Intimacy, closeness, trust, commitment. So all of this growth is going to come from unity consciousness, reconciliation, equality, union, codependency, taking sides. Going beyond infatuation and attraction, intimacy, sharing, giving and communication, time to forgive and seek reconciliation, meeting of minds and hearts, put aside judgment and blame, cherish all your loves, maintain independence and avoid codependence, avoid taking sides. The Two of Water represents a relationship that has moved beyond infatuation and physical attraction to one that is built upon a foundation of deeper mutual love, respect, trust, or shared interests and values. It symbolises a meeting of the mind and the heart that is free of the desire to possess or control. This relationship is a unification of two hearts and minds, not with the purpose of becoming whole or to complete each other, but with the intent to share, to enrich, and to enhance each other's lives. This is a time of giving, sharing, and communication. A relationship is founded on intimacy. To share your thoughts, feelings, goals, and fears with the one you love is to be intimate. To hold them, to listen, to show interest is to be intimate. To show affection by reaching out to stroke their cheek or hold their hand is to be intimate. The Two of Hearts ultimately symbolises intimacy within relationship. It actually says it is also represents, this is not just me, it also represents a time of forgiveness and reconciliation. If a rift has developed between lovers or friends, confirmation, reconciliation is here. Now is the time to let go of hurt and anger. Put aside judgment and blame. Do not allow arrogance, wounded pride, or ego to destroy a relationship. Where you can, take responsibility for your own choices and actions within the relationship and be mindful of how they have impacted and influenced that relationship. The Two of Water invites you to communicate, to forgive, or apologise now. Okay, so within this very grounded, stable foundation, well, the real foundation of it is intimacy. And you get that from doing all of this work to not be afraid of your emotions. Getting your power back. Your real power is taking charge of your emotions. The Union card. This is the last card I'm going to read. Excuse me, just energy transmutation. '85 is the page. Wholeness, marriage, unity, connection, integration, harmony, alignment, peace. Unity and wholeness. Harmony arises when we are in alignment. You have unlimited potential, a path that marries science and spirituality. Duality creates separation. The marriage of body, mind, and soul. All is connected. Complete self-acceptance. Do not dominate or be submissive. At the center is the void. You are a temple. Worship within. Fear and need, cornerstones of dependency. The Union card symbolises unity and wholeness. It represents our relationship with ourselves and our relationship with the world around us. It represents the harmony that arises when we are in alignment within and with both the seen and unseen worlds around us. To achieve this centered state is our fifth reason for being. Who am I? What is my purpose? Why am I here? Self-inquiry puts our feet upon the path to wholeness. It's part of our life quest, and only in asking questions and seeking answers do we become whole. It is a journey that manifests in self-discovery. We come into the world innocent and pure, while in the womb, our soul is still as one with the source of all, the void, the cosmic womb, from which all came to be and all will return. Our soul remembers that connection. The soul remembers its unlimited potential. It remembers, wow, it's like another spread. which is like a lot more than the other cards. It is whole and divine. This knowledge and all that we experienced before taking our first breath in this life resides within our unconscious mind, where it could motivate and guide us if it were not for the fact that from birth we experience a life that is conflicting in every way. As we grow to adulthood, we are taught to define, limit, repress, suppress, and deny. While we can be surrounded by people who support us and tell us that we are capable of anything we set our minds to achieving, we may still limit and restrict our potential by embracing labels and definitions. Furthermore, we are born into a race that divides and separates into tribes. The tribes maintain that they want peace and thrive and profit more from conflict and war. Two of the largest tribes are science and religion. Many of the people of each tribe hold those of the other in contempt. You've heard the argument, science is founded in fact and reality, religion is its more open and expansive form. Spirituality are founded in myth and make-believe. One is based in logic, analysis and reason. The other is based on faith, emotion and imagination. However, if you scratch the surface and look a little closer, both are founded in theory. Both require trust and conviction. Both are loved and defended with the same level of conviction. Both could coexist in harmony, which, by the way, is the teachings in the Quran. To many of those who follow a scientific path, a belief in God is a sign of mental illness and dysfunction. I just think that's a modern day thing. Like, there are scientists that do believe in God. They're like very famous ones, like Einstein, for example. I mean, he famously. Why can't I speak? He famously believed that God is love. That he came to that conclusion himself. To many of those who follow a religious path, non-believers follow a path that leads to damnation and eternal suffering. Who is right and who is wrong? The answer is that both tribes are but aspects of a greater whole. Only in embracing both science and spirituality do we find the answers to the larger questions. Confirmation. Spirituality and science are not mutually exclusive. This is very true. And the divine offer far greater opportunities to explore and understand the universe and all that dwells within than either standing on its own. Each can and does enhance and expand our perception of the other. The Union card represents the bringing together of many aspects of our world that we have been taught to separate from the whole. All is connected, as above, so below. The universe in which we dwell is multifaceted and whole. The earth upon which we dwell is multifaceted and whole. All that dwells beside us upon this blue-green earth is multifaceted and whole. We, humanity, are multifaceted and whole, and we have a symbiotic relationship with that whole. As a dominant species on the planet, the very health of the whole planet is dependent on our own health and unity as a species, and so we must reconnect and integrate and become one with all once more. So this is all of this energy that is happening cosmically right now with the sun at the center of it, because we were on the destructive path to extinction, like totally on that path. So something serious has to happen now. Mother Earth and Father Sky are taking control because we are not to be trusted. We cannot be trusted to be sensible by ourselves. The Union card symbolises the marriage of body, mind and soul and the recognition and acceptance of our own divinity and connection. We are physical beings who are meant to live a life that includes and embraces both the physical and the spiritual. We are unique and individual beings, but also part of a greater whole. We are told that love is all, and that at the centre, when all is in harmony and alignment, there is only love. But while love is important, at the centre there is only the peace and stillness of the void. So a lot of the days since all of this solar storms, I have been fasting. So I've not really been talking about that on here, but I've just been not really feeling hungry. So when that happens, I just go with it because I know, like, I feel like God is forcing me to fast. And I've been doing that sometimes for like 2 days, almost 2 days before I like start drinking and eating again. And it's just a way to balance all of the energy shifts, or to be a conduit to be used for this void, is another explanation. It is in unifying all and experiencing the peace that is born in the moment that we remember what it is like to first dwell in the void and to dwell in the womb. In that place of pure stillness and silence, all is created. This is very true. Anybody who is a creative, who creates like me, and I've just posted a video earlier today, about a poem called Hearts Healed Hearts that I wrote in the stillness of being bedbound. And I've shared many poems that have come from that place since I developed chronic fatigue in 2022. Yeah, that's all. That's the message. So love and unity is the driving force behind everything. Healing from trauma so you can feel again. That can be trauma this life, trauma in all past lives. Taking charge of your choices. And then putting it into action. But this feels like it's already happening, to be honest. It's not like a prediction or anything. It's like a confirmation. That's all for this message. But love is what makes everything go round. So heal your trauma. The mother and the scribe. I'm not going to read. I'll show you the mother and the scribe. It's like creating poetry, or creating, like, write down your creations. Birth your new ideas, birth your new let that creative energy flow through you, and then create, actually translate, write it down, share. I don't know, that's kind of mess up my train of thought. Yeah, love is the center of it all. Heal your trauma so you can be intimate, because there's been too much lustful energy. Lots of all of this, like, irresponsible sharing of, like, exchange of sexual energy and stuff, which is basically the energy that you create from, by the way. Which is obvious, that's how you make babies, but I mean, it's the same energy that artists use to create music, art, paintings, write novels, whatever creative thing that you do. It's the same energy. It's from your sacral chakra. So there's just been too much distorted sexual energy amongst the collective, and that's been corrected to shift out of distorted energy into unified energy, which is balanced energy. Out of lust and temporary gratification kind of thing, like really short term, non-committal, like disregard for like responsibility and consequences kind of energy, to responsibility, because love is responsible. Thought. King of Fire. That's passion. Passion, but passion, mature passion, not like player energy. It's like thought and passion. Mature. No, don't do that one. That's the wrong way. Yeah, so we're moving out of separation consciousness into unity consciousness, which is stable because it's founded in emotional maturity, love, intimacy. People are now getting more comfortable with being intimate, having real connections with people, as opposed to everything being run off addiction, because basically addiction and connection are opposites. They're like opposite polarities. Addiction is all like, you know, like in the tarot, there's like the lovers and the devil, and they're basically the same card, but one's got the binds and the chains on, and one's like, they're free, they're not bound to anything, they're just stood there separately in their abundance, and one's under the Satan, and then the other's under Archangel Michael, I think. I can't remember the cards. But you get the drift. Like, it's like one's very clearly separation consciousness, because it's all bound and stuck and horrible, like wading through treacle in the material realm. And the other's like spiritually rooted. The other one's like spiritual beings having a human experience. Like, they know who they are and stuff, and they've had their awakening, and they're free people in the world. And yeah, that's it, really. It's abundant in that camp. There's a dragon in that as well. That came out in one of the reading before, dragon. Anyway, guys, this was longer, way longer than what I thought it was going to be. I hope you found it insightful. And yeah, please do the free things. It really helps me. And if you would like to support my autistic projects, the links to support them are in the About section. These are the projects I've been working on the last 2.5 years. And especially well, throughout the G side, while I've been in forced isolation due to doxing and just general being branded a terrorist in my country because of malicious rumours by some people who think they are me and my people and are obsessed with us and won't leave us alone. They're obsessed with everything we have. It's not really our fault. I didn't ask to be born Palestinian in some ways. I mean, my soul agreed to it and decided to come on this mission this lifetime, but that's another story. But I can't change my bloodline. Like, I can't change it. Can't change the family I was born into and my heritage and stuff. And I can't change, I can't change where I'm from. We are here, we exist, we always have. We are very ancient souls. We existed before all of religions. The struggle really is not about that at all. Because our roots to the land is older than all of the books. And it's who we are. Right to return is about who we are. Reconciliation is about who we are. Unity is about understanding who you are. Like, if you think of the first card that came out that was about feeling, it's a very simple example. When you leave home and you, like, for a while, like, for example, this is just a very simple example. When I was at university and I used to get back to the platform, when I used to get off the train and get back to the platform at Manchester train station, I used to get a feeling like of being back home in my home city that I don't get anywhere. Like when I land in an airport in anywhere else in the world, I don't get that feeling that I get when I land at Manchester Airport or I land at get back to Manchester by train or coach or whatever. That's very unique to Manchester. The same when I go back to Palestine. I don't get any feelings or anything that are like it. And that's because my soul knows that that's my home. Because your emotions come from the heart and your soul. And that's why we have right to return. It's universal for a reason. Because our souls are universal. And when people don't feel at home, when the people don't have those feelings, they can't rest. You have to experience those feelings every so often to have proper rest and peace. And that's why we struggle, because we know the tension, we have this disconnect that is not acceptable. And then this is why, because humans can't allow for us, the humans in these positions of authority cannot accept that we have these needs, the very human needs, because every human has this. God is stepping in to correct the imbalances, because there's been far too many imbalances caused by our needs being ignored. And I'm not just talking about Palestinians here, I'm talking about anybody that this resonates with, which should be everybody, because everybody, well, I don't really believe that everybody has a soul. I've touched on that in other videos, so I'm not going to go there on this one. But everybody has a soul, everybody has a home, everybody has the roots, everybody has heritage. Yes, so everybody has this collective understanding about what makes them feel unified, whether they're aware of it or not, whether they're conscious of it or unconscious of it. It is there. It is always there. It is ever present. The pain is greater, in fact, when you are conscious of it and you don't have it. And it is those people especially that carry the greatest responsibility to correct these imbalances. And break down all barriers to reunification and reconciliation. Okay, I am actually getting out of here now. Thanks for being here, and I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Ma salama.